Hey guys and gals, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to go over my quarantining process. I had a comment in a previous video, someone that was interested in how I do it. Now there's, trust me, millions of ways. Everyone has their own way of doing things. All I can say is if as long as you're doing something, you know, to not bring in things you don't want to your tank, that's what it's all about. The fish health, you know, these things are closed systems, so they, you know, whatever you're bringing in, it's a possibility it's going to multiply. And just a little background on me. Been in the hobby since 2010. Of course, wishing I knew then what I know now would be would be nice, you know. Hindsight's always 20/20. But you know, you got your tank, you know, you got all your stuff. I had a 29 gallon, nothing fancy, something like this, 10 gallon, same design. And you know, had some fish. I had no coral. But I mean, I lost. Fish would die. I wouldn't know why. I didn't know what to check for. You know, I bought my water from, you know, the local, it's a fish store that went out of business already. But I mean, besides all that, like, we were in the hobby for a year or so, and then we got out of it. I ended up getting a bigger tank, you know, with the overflow and that type of stuff, you know, just made it nicer, easier to take care of everything. Ended up getting a 60 gallon, then realizing I wanted bigger, so I got a 115. And that was my first run-in with, well, I say my first, that was the first time I knew I had ick and started to try to deal with it. The second time I got it was in the reefer, the 350, and it was from that chocolate tang that I had. Ended up taking all the fish out, going fishless for 90 days to let the parasites starve out. And then I had all of my fish in a 40 gallon breeder. And since then, every single fish went through exactly what I'm about to tell you. And I've since then have not had any mortalities in the tank. You know, I've had no ick, no problems. I mean, it's been a lot more enjoyable. Let me tell you. That is a 10 gallon tank. That is my normal quarantine tank. I'm normally doing one fish at a time. I had this one laying around, so I fired it up, and I mean, it helps. It's a 25 gallon lagoon, bigger fish, bigger tank. It takes more chemicals, you know, whatever you're putting in to get to the level you need, but at the same time, it's better for, you know, not having ammonia buildup and things of that nature. As you can see, these guys are on like I think this is day 10. Or no, it's day 12. Ammonia sensors on both are saying there's no ammonia in there. And that's because I have the Seachem, and I can't remember the name of it's the little rocks that you can buy from Seachem. They come in a jug. I'll look and see if I can find what they are. Back here, I have that one. And basically, I put those in when the tank has, you know, when I first start the tank, and it has, I add, you know, copper power. That's the only copper I run. I've had great luck with it. I put it at a 1.0 parts per million. So now you're running 1.0. I dose the Macrobacter 7. This is what I use to check my copper. I think it's real important because how accurate it is. You don't want to go overboard with copper. I dose General Cure and I dose Metroplex. That's pretty much it. To start out, like I said, bring it to a 1.0, put the fish in, let them stay in there for 24 hours. Then I go to a 1.25. I go to the following day, I go to a 1.5. The following day, I go to a 1.75. Basically, I do this until I get to a 2.0. And then 2.0, therapeutic. And I don't like putting the fish in more copper than I think they need to have. It is not something good for them. But so I just try to use as little as possible that gets the job done. Once I get them to a 2, I try to go to a 2.1, 2.2, only to give myself a little bit of buffer room. You do not want the copper to go below therapeutic levels at all during this treatment, or you need to start over. The whole point of this, it can only live on the fish for 7 days. It drops off. You don't know when it's dropping off. You can't, you can't see it after it's dropped off, really. I mean, so when it hatches, those little parasites, the free swimmers, they die because it's therapeutic. If it drops below therapeutic, now when it hatches, they can go reinfect your fish. Then they're there for another 7 days. So, yeah, stay above 2.0. There's talk on the internet right now, 1.5 is therapeutic for copper power. I've never tried that. This has worked really well for me. So, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And yeah, for the other medication, I end up dosing, like on day 2, I'll do Metro. Day 4, I'll do the General Cure. Day 6, I'll do Metro. Day 8, I do Metro. And then, like I said, I normally do a water change. So then 2 days after that, I'll dose the General Cure again. Day 12, do Metro. And then normally between day 12 and day 14 is when I'm taking the fish out and putting it in a different tank. All the data says these things, parasites, the ick is what, most of us are after, velvet, stuff like that, can only stay on the fish for 7 days. So if you take this fish from here, like I said, I normally leave them in, 10 to 14 days. If you take the fish, just the fish, out of this tank and put it in another tank that has no copper, no nothing, just another tank, it should be totally clean. Everything is dropped off of the fish by then if you stayed above therapeutic. Jeez, I can't stay down here, can I? You have to be right in the shot. As long as it stayed therapeutic levels, nothing can reinfect the fish again. So that's the whole point. Move them to another tank. Watch them. I used to have a 40-gallon breeder. I did that every time. In all honesty, maybe it's a step I'm skipping, but after they go through this right here, they've always been good. I've never had any signs of a reinfection or, something that made it through. Like I said, as long as you stayed above, the 2.0 with the copper, they're normally good. So and what I normally do when I do my water change, I use 1 bucket. And you'll notice that bucket says copper on it. I will take 5 gallons out, dump it, put fresh, salt water in that, and do all of your copper addition in this bucket. In one of these buckets, you know, you can see that there's kind of a line that's right here. I normally go back up to that line, and 7.23 milliliters of copper power gives you a 2.34 on the level. So I don't know why it's so easy to remember that for me, but that's what I normally do. And that's how I do the water change. Other than that, that's pretty much it. You know, I try to feed the guys a little twice a day. I don't do anything different. Salt is a 1.025. You know, the temperature is 77, 78 degrees. You know, it's so one power head in each one. You know, I unplug the back when I feed so the food stays in there a little longer before it goes over the filter, which is something you do in everyday fish keeping. But yeah, other than that, that's it. I hope this helps you guys, or, you know, anybody that's looking to do this exact same thing. It has helped me. Like I said, I haven't had an issue. I haven't lost a fish the last fish I lost was due to ick, and it was unfortunately it was a chocolate tang and a yellow eye coal tang before they became these, you know, $300 to $500 fish that they are now. And this is back when they were $39 or $50, but besides that, I mean, it don't really matter. It still sucks to lose the fish. But that chocolate tang is the one that brought the ick home. And since then, that's all I've done. I've done this, what I just walked you through, every single time, and I've not had an issue, and haven't had a loss of life whatsoever from anything really. So hopefully this helps you guys, and if you got any questions, throw them in the comments. I'll answer them as best as I can, as quick as I can anyway. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.